Pearson from Miami Herald.
Or you go down, I think it's by 11 with 13 change left. To see what did you see from the team when you guys were making the push and that last drive decision to throw when you were in field goal range? What was the decision making?
Well, with over 30 seconds left and a couple timeouts, we're still, we're at 48 yards for the field goal. We're still going to try to move the ball to make it closer or to try to win the game as well, which is regular process for us.
And just overall, what you saw from the team in the fourth quarter to get yourselves in position after seeing
a lot
how
of
much you scored most of the game?
toughness, resilience, all the good stuff, but again, not enough to overcome the issues that we cause ourselves, particularly in the area of penalties.
Corey, obviously Carson had a really tough game tonight. Was it something that he was off on, or was something Louisville was giving that was making things tricky for him?
I think one shot, the deep one, was a really good play by the field safety. Came on over the shot to Malachi. I think at the end there, we're trying to make a play, and I think we didn't execute it. I don't put that all on him. We're trying to get the ball out to the flag quick, and I think it turned into another route, which is not supposed to be that way. And ended up being, the final play of the game. So.
Let's go Richard from CBS.
What was it about the simulated pressure looks that Louisville threw you? It looked like that's how they got the interception at the end, and they got held back the screen game with a couple of them.
That's something common that they do. Something prepared for. They go 7 up, and they'll either drop into 2, 3, some type of cloud, man coverage. They'll stay in it. They'll bring 4. They'll bring 5. They'll bring 6, or they'll drop 8. So we had a safe throw on that, and we just didn't execute.
David Hill, you guys didn't have a ton of success running the ball tonight, and obviously Malachi had a wonderful game, but you haven't really identified a number 3 receiver that's been consistent. Is there a concern about just having enough playmakers in a game like this to be able to, especially when you need to come back down early?
Well, I think first off, we did not run the ball well. We didn't. Certainly, we need to do a better job at the line of scrimmage and get downhill, give our guys a chance to make plays and move the sticks. We also got ourselves off schedule several times in terms of pre-snap penalties, in the middle of a drive penalty, and it changes your play calls. So, all in all, just flat out not good enough. Particularly, we got to score more points, move the ball better.
Brian, Coach, defensively, especially early on, they seem to be having a tough time with what Louisville was throwing at them. Just how do they recover, and what did you see from that side of the ball tonight?
Well, they really come out with an opening script plus that's really difficult to defend, and they got us 14 points in a hurry. Thought we had a good call on the fake field goal, where we should trigger and make that play, but we didn't. And again, we got to coach it better so we can execute it better. We don't want to take point blame on anybody on that. After those 14 points, I thought we settled down really good, got our cleats in the ground, started playing good defense. And they're a really good offense, a really good play caller. But certainly, we got to be able to move the sticks and put points on the board to help the defense as well. At the end of the evening, I think we only had 59 plays. A lot of that is due to not sustaining drives. That's not a good play count for our offense.
Sticking with the defensive side of things, just how much were they able to, neutralize your pass rush with those quick routes, the short ones over the middle? They scored them a couple times. Just how much did they neutralize your pass rush?
Balls out quick, some chips, both by the back and by the tight end. Good game plan here. You got to be able to mix it up. Got to bring pressure. Got to cover. Got to play tight coverage. Got to give some room as well, and then got to play the run. We've got a really good running back and whatnot. So it's certainly when you play against a play caller like that, you got to do your best to keep them off balance without hurting yourself. I think for the most part, we did a lot of good things, but they got us on a couple of them.
Coach, we got a couple more. We'll go back to Jordan. We'll go back to David after.
Coach, what's going to be the message to the team after this, especially after, we've seen this team with veterans out. They've been able to handle their business. Just as you go through your first loss, what's going to be the message?
The message is being very real and honest, man. Good enough. That's a really poor job of just overall execution and discipline. And when I say that, it means all of us, like everybody in the organization, every coach, every player. We take it, we win together, you lose together. And so when we say execution, that falls on the coach, falls on the player, falls on myself, falls on everybody. And after having some really good performances and working really, really hard at practice, that's really disappointing. And we're all disappointed. We're all pissed. We're all upset. And sitting around and being pissed is not going to do anything about it. And just because you're upset about a performance, you better go out and do something about it. And that's got to be the complete commitment of everybody. There's no BSing, there's no excuse making, there's no time to sit around and do anything, but go back to work and go get better. That's what it takes, that's what real men do, and that's what we have to do, and that's what we're going to do. So.
wrap up with David Hill.
Mario, you've obviously seen Carson deal with a lot just his time here. How do you think he'll respond from?
I think he'll respond well. You know, it's the only way to go. He knows no other way. There is no other choice. You know, that's when you play really good teams and you're playing conference football. The margins are really small. One possession games reign supreme at this time of year. And if you give away plays, it's going to get you. You know what? Tonight it got us. So lesson has to be learned, and we have to go do something about it. Talking about it ain't going to do anything.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you.